Okay guys, this is the video that I promised you that you would get in replacement of class on Wednesday, May 28th. I have Math1700 video number 1. It may be our first and last video like this. It just depends. We'll see. We'll see how you guys like it and see how effective it is. It seems like it works for some classes. Seems like it doesn't work for others. Well, actually, I should say it works for some students and it doesn't work for others. Let me tell you what's going to happen. We're going to have a lot going on. I think it'll be something that you'll get used to very quickly. First of all, I've got a blackboard here that I'll be writing on. Also, I've got a browser up that I'll share some stuff with you. I've got some assignments I want to work through with you. And then also I've got the calculator that I can demonstrate things there. So going to be a lot going on. I think you're going to get used to it very quickly. So hey, let's go for it. Okay. Now the first thing that I would recommend that you do is go to a browser and type in MyMathLab. Mine's going to come up MyStatLab, which is fine. The MyStatLab, MyMathLab ultimately takes you to the same place. And I'm going to sign in and go to my page. Now, obviously you're not going to see all this stuff, but if you go to our course, 1700 for summer 2014, and if you come down to course tools, and remember guys, the beauty of this type of delivery is you can hit pause. If I go too fast, hit pause. Come back and get me. So, but anyway, if you're with me here, go to Course Tools, and if you go down to the third option called Document Sharing and click that, what you're going to see that I've uploaded a couple of documents. First of all, this document, the linear functions, is the handout from class last Wednesday. So if you've lost it, misplaced it, dog ate it, cat ate it, whatever it may be, you can get a copy of it there. Also, there's a document right here, Math1700 problems for this video. These are going to be some of the problems that are going to be, well, these are going to contain the problems I'm going to work in this video, plus got a little bit of new stuff in there too. So guys, what I would do is I would just click this. It's going to download it, open this up, print it off, keep it on your computer, whatever you may want. But I think it'd be nice to have access to it. So let's go for it. First thing I want to look at are the problems that I gave you at the end of class on Wednesday. So how would we work this? So the first problem says we have a cost function, and we have 100 widgets cost $2,000 and 700 widgets cost $5,500. So it says find the linear equation which relates the number of items produced in with the cost C. So guys, what we're going to be looking for here, we're going to be looking for a function C of n. So our cost is going to be a function of the number of items produced, which is C of n, which is n, and we have these relationships that are already given. Now, what I would probably want you to do, I mean, I know that you guys are doing this completely different, but for those of you that struggle with this kind of thing, I would want you to do like we've done in class. Go to Edit. Now, first thing you can see here, I've got a lot of data from a previous class, so I need to get rid of that. So if I go up and highlight L1 and hit Clear, Enter, that will get rid of all the numbers and not delete the list. So go up and hit Clear, Enter. It'll delete L2. Maybe. Excuse me. Now, in L1, I don't know why this thing's running so slow, but it certainly is. In L1, well, let's enter in L2. In L2, we want to put the values, so we're going to put 2,000. And we're going to put 5,500. And then I want to go over to L1 and I want to put in my x's, which would be 100. And 700. Now, some of you prefer to work this out, by hand, and that's cool. If that's the way you were taught, and it seems like it's working for you, then that's fine. Other students, aren't that successful with that procedure. So, guys, let's go to Stat, go to Calc, and come down to number 4. And this sets up a little different than what I demonstrate with the calculator in class. Here it asks us to put our X lists in. We of course use L1, and we use L2 as our Y list. I'm confused why this thing's running so slow. Frequency list will be blank, store regression equations blank, and come down to calculate. Now once we hit calculate, you'll see that it very quickly goes to the home screen and gives us this answer. So the slope is 5.83 and our intercept is 1416.67. So guys, go back to our problem here. So our answer would be 5.83 n plus 1416.67. Okay. Part B, what's the value of the slope? Well, the value of the slope is 5.83. And the interpretation of the slope is the slope is the producing an additional item. So in this case, a widget. And another name for the slope in the cost function is marginal cost. So what will be the cost of producing 1,250 widgets? Well, what I'm going to do here is C of 1,250. So I'm going to have 5.83 times 1,250 plus 1416.67. So grab your calculator and try not to do anything too crazy there. When I say crazy, I mean, no typos. So if I didn't make any typos, I get 8704.17. So that'd be the cost of producing 1,250 widgets. All right, gang. Question number 2. The cost of making 100 items is $3,000, and the cost of making 150 items is $3,300. Now, I want to do this one the other way for you other folks that prefer to, work this out the long way. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, different approach for, different strokes for different folks or something crazy like that. All right, let me get my... All right, so if for those of you that would want to Okay, I really have no idea why my computer's running so slow today. But it certainly is. Okay, so if we're going to set it up this way, what I would do is set up the two ordered pairs. So I have 100, 3,000. And I have the other for 150 units. The cost is 3,300. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, so first thing we would do is find the slope, which will be 3,300 minus 3,000. Now I'm going this way on the y's, so I have to go this way on the x's. So in the numerator we have 300. In the denominator we have 50. So gang, the slope is going to be equal to 6. Now I'm going to take one of these ordered pairs. I'll try to take the 100, 3,000. When the slope is equal to 6. And I'm going to put that information in this formula. So my y value is 3,000. My slope is 6. Boy, isn't it nice when things work out this nicely? Your slope is 6 and not like, 4 2/3 or something crazy. All right, gang, so we get 3,000 equals 6 times 100. So we should be very easy to see. Subtract 600 from both sides. So our intercept is 2,400. So what we're going to do here, find the cost equation. So the cost equation, I'm just going to do C of Q. Guys, you can call your quantity, your N, your X. You can call this, a lot of different things. You see N used a lot. You see X used a lot. You see Q used for quantity a lot. Pick your poison unless it specifies in the problem which one to use. So our function would be 6Q, and I forget what was it, 2,400 plus 2,400. Okay? Now, let me get rid of this stuff right here. All right, boys and girls, part B. It asks us what's the fixed cost. And guys, the fixed cost is the intercept, so that's going to be 2,400. And part C asks what's the marginal cost. So the marginal cost is the slope. So the marginal cost is $6. Don't you hope it stays stays this easy. Okay, part D, interpret in your own words the marginal cost, what it tells us. Well, that's just the cost for one additional item. So we open up the doors in the morning. It's going to cost us $2,400 to keep our business open. When we start producing something, the $6 is the price it's going to take to produce the next item. So it's the the marginal cost and the cost for each additional item. All right, gang. So done. Well, that's an ugly produced. Because I can't write, this thing's hard to write on anyway, but I can't write period, so give me any sort of extra challenge, it's even crazier. All right, gang, party, if the item is sold for $9.50 each, what is the revenue function? Well, guys, the revenue function is just R of Q, and it's the price, which is $9.50, times the number produced. Okay. Part F, break even. Well, guys, the easiest way to do break even, you can actually do break even a couple of ways. Break even can be a situation where your profit function is equal to 0, or probably easier, it's when your cost function is equal to your revenue function. So your cost and revenue are the same, and then clearly that would be a phenomenon of breaking even. Well, we know that our cost function was 6Q plus 2,400, and our revenue function was 950Q, 9.50Q. So guys, I would want you to subtract 6Q from both sides. So let's go to the next screen. So we're going to have what? 2,400 equals 3.5Q. I think. 3.5Q. Yes, obviously, next thing we do is divide both sides by 3.5Q. And let's put that in our calculator and see what happens. Now, you end up getting a decimal, and you get a decimal in this situation, you would want to add round up. So rounding up will give you 686 units. So guys, 686 units are gonna break even. Okay. Now part G asks how many items must be sold to realize a profit of 100,000. Well, guys, we've got to create a profit function now. And from class, I told you that the profit function is just the revenue function minus the cost function. So guys, our profit function is going to be 9.5Q minus the quantity so let's distribute the negative sign. To each part under the parentheses of the brackets. So guys, your profit function in this case is 3.5Q minus 2,400. Well, we need to see what quantity, what number of items produces a profit of 100,000. So let's add 2,400 to both sides. No, wait a minute, I don't have enough zeros there to, it was 100,000, not 10,000. Okay, so let me correct this. So we're going to have 102,400. Divide both sides by 3.5. And get your calculator. So 102,400 divided by 3.5. And remember, always round up. So we're going to have to produce a lot of items here to make this much profit. So it looks like it's going to be 29,258 items. Alright gang, that's the end of that handout. That was pretty painless. At least I hope you think it was. Next handout's going to be a lot tougher. Okay?